Listen and practice.
Fishing for memories.
On a warm summer day, Mike was going fishing with her grandmother. They climbed into a small boat and rowed out onto the water. Mike studied the waves all around her, looking for a giant fish to catch. Mike's grandmother smiled, shook her head, and handed Mike a fishing rod. Mike quickly cast her line into the water.
Now to try. Listen and practice.
Mike scowled, reeled her fishing line back in, and placed a piece of her turkey sandwich on the hook. Then, she cast her line back into the water. Mike heard her grandmother chuckle as she leaned over the side of their boat and stared into the pond. She tried to see how far down her sandwich had traveled and whether any fish were nibbling on it. However, the water was too murky, and Mike didn't feel anything tugging on the end of her fishing line.
Now to try. Listen and practice.
After a few minutes, a frustrated Mike sighed in disappointment and leaned back in her grandmother's. Both her grandmother had been watching Mike. Now, she pointed to the sky. Mika watched as the osprey flew in a big circle and then suddenly swooped down to pluck a fish from the water. Mike and her grandmother spoke about how it would feel to fly like a bird.
Now to try. Listen and practice.
Then, they talked about the first time her grandmother flew in an airplane, a long time ago. She was about Mike's age at that time and was going to school, just like Mike was now. Mike and her grandma spoke about Mike's school, and what grandma's school was like. In some ways, their schools were different, but in some ways, they were the same.
Now to try.